About a week ago, the Elliot Rodgers case was on, and a lot of people had their issues about it. Elliot Rodgers killed 7 people. You know, a deranged man. A lot of people making excuses for him. And you know, about a week ago, Memorial Day weekend, killed 7 people in USB, Santa Barbra College. You know, it could have been worse because he actually knocked on the door at a sorority, but nobody answered. Because if somebody would have answered that door, it could have been a whole lot worse. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a couple of news magazine clips. Then I'm going to come back and give you my opinion, and I'm going to tell you why. Just because you are a nice guy doesn't mean that you are entitled or not entitled to anything. A woman, anything. I'll come back in a moment.
Environment is the darkest hell.
When will this insanity stop?
He looked directly at me, he talked to me, and then he just shot at me multiple times.
Shots fired, shots fired. Multiple gunshot victims.
Against all of you.
Sick, twisted, and oh so sad. So cops say the 22-year-old Elliot Rodgers started his evil rampage Friday inside his own apartment. He slashed and killed 2 roommates and another friend with a knife. Investigators say that Rodgers then drove over the college campus and he knocked on the door of a sorority house that was filled with young women. And when no one answered, he opened fire on 3 people who were standing on the front lawn. He killed 2 of them. He then drove to a deli and killed yet another student before driving around shooting at pedestrians and running over bike riders until he finally crashed his car. He then put a bullet in his own head. Tonight we are learning just how disturbed Rodgers really was, writing his entire story in a 137-page manifesto, which he entitled My Twisted World, the Story of Elliot Rodgers, in which he blames women, porn, and the popular kids for ruining his life and keeping him a virgin. He is obsessed with why women won't date him. And in his final video posted on YouTube, Rodgers says it's the, quote, day of retribution. Listen to this.
Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity.
We want to take you right now to the UC SB campus where this horrific tragedy happened. A memorial is just getting underway for all the victims of this horrific tragedy. You know, tonight we want to hear from you. Call me, please, at 1-877-JVM-SAYS. That's 1-877-586-7297. As you might imagine, we have a fantastic Lions Den panel that's ready to debate this. And Wendy, I want to go straight to you. You're a former prosecutor. Is this a rage against women, and is it a rage in general? Or is this psychotic man just looking for revenge against anyone and everyone who ever insulted him? What do you think, Wendy?
Well, I suppose it could be both, Joey. Look, I am sick of people saying that this is what angry men do when they're raging toward women who won't have sex with them. First of all, the guy was kind of cute. Obviously, the women who didn't have sex with him had very good judgment. He was a monster.
Apparently.
I don't want to have sex with a creepy guy like that. Get a message, right? What I think is interesting about this guy is him saying not, I feel rejected, I feel sad, and here's my anger. He said, I was entitled. I wanted it, I couldn't get it, and I killed people because they didn't give me what I wanted. That's called male entitlement. And when he didn't get what he wanted as a big man on campus, he shoots up the women. That's a sickness in this country. That's evil.
Now, and it's a great point, Wendy, to be made. So, Dr. Judy Ho, I want to go to you. You're a clinical psychologist. How does something like this even occur? To Wendy's point, is it entitlement? Is it that they rebuffed him and therefore he was going to exact his pound of flesh upon everyone? Take us through the mental health that a person has to be under to do something as horrific as what he did here.
Well, Joey, that's a great question. And just to go off of what Wendy said, entitlement is definitely part of the picture. When we look at the research and what has happened in the past, people who tend to do these mass shootings at schools, at movie theaters, they tend to fit a certain profile. They tend to be single, young males who are from an affluent or at least middle upper class family. This idea of entitlement makes them feel like their own personal struggles are the world's problems. So the difference between somebody like this versus somebody who comes from maybe an average social demographic background is that they tend to, if they get this point into their severity of their mental health, will end up taking it out on their family members, on their intimate partners. But these people who go and take it out on society, there's definitely an entitlement piece here. Now, as far as how the mental health developed to this point, we know that Elliot has had Asperger's, but that's not the entire picture. Clearly, most people with Asperger's are not violent. There's a lot of other issues that he has, and one of them is that he attributes hostility to everybody around him. He thinks everybody around him is out to harm him, that anything that happens to him that isn't positive is personal. And when you go around thinking that the world is something that you must defend yourself against, this is what will happen at the end of the line.
You know, Dr. Judy, I want to just address that whole point, right? Because you take it through so nicely, right? Now, look at this. Rodgers' mental illness is very well documented, and according to his family, he was in therapy since he was 8 years old. But his mental illness and his claim of mental illness, is it just giving him a pass? It sounds like he just hates women. I mean, listen to this from his YouTube video.
You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me, but I will punish you all for it. It's an injustice, a crime, because I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy.
Now, we asked all of you to call us, and before I get right back into the lines then, I want to talk to Charlie. Charlie, I think you called, and you have something to say about this horrific act. I think you're calling from Chicago. Is that right, Charlie?
Correct, Mr. Joey Jackson. How are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you so much for calling. Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay. My comment, Mr. Jackson, is I don't think this kid, I don't condone anything he did, but I don't think it just started the past 6 months or the past year. I think maybe in his childhood, something happened, could have, now I'm not a psychiatrist, Mr. Jackson, but something could have happened at an early age. I mean, and he hated women for a long time. This just didn't come about because some girls rejected him or said no, you know. I mean, we all get rejected sometimes, and we all get the answer no. But this he probably was holding on to this for years and years. Who knows, 10, 15 years, you know what I mean?
Charlie, I cannot disagree with you. Absolutely. And for that point, Lisa Lockwood, you're an investigator, right? And before I get to the lawyers on the panel, let me ask you. I mean, we got to look into his psychiatric history. And to Charlie's point, this didn't happen overnight. We already spoke about how since he was 8 years old, he's been in therapy. So from an investigative perspective, as it relates to him, number one, what, if anything, could have been done? And in the future, what do we have to investigate to prevent tragedies like this from happening all too often?
His first meeting with the police, that's when it should have been an issue. April 30th, when Mom called and had concern about him possibly killing himself or endangering somebody, and the police arrived on the scene, that was the opportunity for the police to make an assessment. Anytime somebody threatens to kill themselves, they are authorized to involuntarily have them committed. They should have waited for the parents to come home. They should have searched that bedroom on April 30th. If they had done that, that would have been the preemptive strike that would have allowed this event to have never happened.
Absolutely, you know, and it delves deeper than that, and it's a point well made. But, you know, in looking at that issue, and I want to go to you, Jay Wendell Gordon, you know, we could examine and we could talk about the police having investigated and having done their job, but could we really leave this to the hands of a police? I mean, we have Dr. Judy Ho. She deals with these from a clinical perspective. She has vast knowledge and education here. So, Jay Wendell Gordon, should the police be making an assessment as to whether he's okay or not?
Well, absolutely. I think that there was enough information available to the police at that time where they could have done a little bit more. I don't see this case so much as a mental situation as much as I see it as one of the most acute cases of affluenza. We've heard that before, and I tell you, Mark Cuban should be coming back over to the side of the street where the hoodies are, and if he sees this guy walking down the street where the black guys are wearing hoodies, because this case just creates a situation where this guy has had too much privilege, too much entitlement, and now he's frustrated, sexually frustrated, as well as frustrated with the world because he just can't get laid. And for that reason, he decided to kill as many people as he could. And I just have a big problem with that.
Well, it's horrific. We're going to talk a lot more about the police. Diana Eisman, don't worry. We didn't forget about you. We want to hear what you have to say. We're going to hear about it after the break.
Here's the situation right now. And I'm going to say this. A lot of people have spoke about this on other channels. But I'm going to tell you right now. Because there are two people who committed crimes because of rejection. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Because I read I listened to what he said, and he's being denied. He says he's a good-looking man, and all these women are denying him and everything else. Just because you call yourself a nice guy, or you say you're a nice guy, it could be true that he's a nice guy, or you know, he might have not committed a crime, or he has not done any harm to women. But just because you say you are a nice guy does not guarantee you a chance, guarantee you to be with any woman. It does not guarantee you, doesn't mean that you deserve to be with a woman. Okay? There are a lot of nice guys out there. A lot of nice guys out there that are not boyfriend material, and a lot of nice women out there that are not girlfriend material. Because it's not just about being a nice guy. Oh, I'm a nice guy. I don't curse nobody out. I'm always giving. Okay, number one is how you carry yourself. Number two is how you come off. Number three is your personality. Okay? Number three. Number four is called confidence. And number five, you know, are you a pushover? Not being a pushover. Being able to stand up for something what you believe in. Not let anybody or woman walk all over you and persuade you to do something that you don't want to do. That's what it is. A lot of guys are being pushed over. So a lot of females are passing you by because you're nice and you're a pushover at the same time. That's why they're passing you by. Because they feel so, you know what, they can't do nothing for you. You're not man enough. You're not good enough. You know, so don't hand me this crap about, oh, I'm a good man. I don't disrespect nobody. There's a difference between a good man and a nice guy. There's a difference. A nice guy is just nice, he's polite. A good man is going to go out there and take care of his woman, make sure nothing happens to her, stands for something for what he believes in, is man enough to handle his own stuff, get his own stuff, don't depend on no woman to take care of him. That's what a good man's about. A nice guy is just polite, won't cause no trouble, says hello, how you doing. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But at the end of the day, nice doesn't get you very far. Because nice is telling you, you know, nice is saying, hey, you know what, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get pissed off. You're not bringing anything to the table being nice. You just don't cause trouble. Not saying that you're supposed to curse a woman out. Not saying you're supposed to put your hands on her. But it doesn't guarantee you, just because you're nice doesn't mean you're entitled to get any woman that you want. Because that's not what nice is not what it is. It's about being a good man, a decent person. That's what that means. There are a lot of nice guys out here. But maybe they come off as creepy, they come off as desperate, and they come off as trying too hard, and then when they get one of them, as soon as they get one of them, they drive them crazy. So sometimes you can't sit there and look at, I'm this, I'm nice, I don't commit crimes. Apparently, Elliot Rodgers wasn't nice because he went out and shot all the people. Or maybe he was. Maybe he just got tired of being rejected. Maybe he should have took the time and realized what was wrong with him, why he couldn't get the females. Some people should just sit and work on themselves Everybody's in a hurry to be in a relationship. Everybody's in a hurry to have somebody around them. We don't have a lot of independent men out here no more. We have a lot of what I quote what somebody else has says on other videos, grown boys instead of grown men. You know, a lot of women claim they're independent. Not that I have a problem with that, but a lot of men are weak. A lot of men need somebody all the time. Need somebody to go to the store with. Need somebody to go to the mall with. Need somebody to talk on the phone with every night. So, and if you're going to kill somebody or go on a killing spree because a woman rejects you or she doesn't feel a certain way for you, then guess what? You weren't that nice to begin with. That means you're sick in the head. Sometimes if people are rejecting you, take a look in the mirror. The same scenario is going on time and time again. Maybe you're too clingy. Ever heard of that? Women don't like a man that's always clinging to them, calling them every 5 minutes, always wanting to tag along with them, tag along with her and her girlfriends. Go to the gym, shoot some hoops, hang out with the fellas. She ain't going nowhere. And those of you who have girlfriends who sit there and protect and stand beside their women every 5 minutes, call them, where you at? Why are you going to this place? Why are you going to the mall? Who are you with? Why are you wearing that short skirt? Why are you wearing tight pants? And you wonder why they leave you. But then, when they leave you, you want to sit there and attack them because they left you. Because no man wants to take responsibility for their actions. A lot of men want to blame somebody else instead of standing up and saying, you know what, I was wrong. Because no matter a woman's going to cheat, leave her. Leave her. If she's going to cheat on you, cut her loose. There's plenty of women out there. If a woman will ever cheat on me, yeah, I feel some type of way, but I'm going to cut you loose. Because why would I sit there and throw my life away or go to jail because a woman decided to get stupid? It ain't worth it. This is Keep It Real TV. Please comment, like, and subscribe.